Both sirens and mermaids are two well-known creatures from myths and legends that have fascinated people for centuries. But are they in fact the same? Let's find out. Many people think that sirens and mermaids are the same, but they are actually quite different in many ways. In this video, we're going to take a look at their differences in terms of origins, physical description, their behaviors, and so forth. I decided to make this video because this point was raised a lot during my previous video about mermaids and the Book of Enoch. If you haven't watched that video yet, I recommend you go ahead and watch that also. I will leave a link down below. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, to start with, let's talk about their origins. Sirens come from Greek mythology and are mentioned in stories like Homer's Odyssey. They typically hover around islands and are the daughters of Achilles, the river god. They're often depicted as dangerous creatures who lure sailors to their deaths with their enchanting voices and beautiful appearance. The island of the Sirens is often described as being near Scylla and Charybdis, two other famous sea monsters from Greek mythology. Sirens have been a part of Greek myths for thousands of years and are an important part of ancient Greek storytelling. Mermaids, on the other hand, they're found in myths and legends from many different cultures around the world, this including European and Asian folklore. This is likely because sailors and explorers shared stories about mermaids during their travels, resulting in these legends spreading far and wide. Some of the earliest mermaid stories come to us from ancient Assyria, where the goddess Atargatis transformed herself into a mermaid out of shame for accidentally killing her human lover. In Europe, mermaid stories became particularly popular during the Middle Ages, with tales of mermaids appearing in the folklore of many countries, including Ireland, Denmark, and Germany. One common misconception is that sirens and mermaids are both half fish. In reality, and as many of you pointed out, sirens are half bird, according to the original stories. They have the upper body of a beautiful woman and the wings of a bird. This bird-like aspect of sirens connects them to other mythological creatures like harpies, who are also part bird and part woman. This idea of bird women is a recurring theme in many mythologies and often represents a dangerous and predatory nature. Mermaids, on the other hand, are half human and half fish. They have the upper body of a beautiful woman and the tail of a fish instead of legs. They're depicted with long flowing hair, seashell accessories, and shimmering scales. Their fish-like tails are usually shown in vibrant colors, adding to their allure and mystical beauty. The image of the mermaid as a beautiful sea creature has been popularized by many stories, songs, and artworks over the centuries. Their differences in physical appearances lead to different habitats. Sirens are not sea creatures. They live on land, specifically on an island near the sea. They are also capable of flying thanks to their bird-like wings. This is quite different from mermaids, who are true sea creatures living in the ocean. Mermaids can be found swimming in various oceans worldwide and are sometimes seen resting on the shores of small islands. Their aquatic nature allows them to move gracefully through the water, and they're often depicted interacting with other sea creatures like dolphins and fish. The behaviors and characteristics of sirens and mermaids also differ greatly. Sirens are often labeled with negative names like enchantresses or temptresses because they lure men to their deaths. They use their beauty and singing voice to attract sailors, who then crash their ships and perish. This is why sirens have a bad reputation and are often associated with danger and evil. Their songs are said to be irresistible, drawing sailors in even though they know it means their doom. So overall portraying them as deadly seductresses in literature and art. Mermaids, however, are usually seen in a more positive light. They're often called water nymphs or water deities and are depicted as beautiful and kind creatures living in the sea. While some stories suggest that mermaids can be dangerous, many tales portray them as loving beings who offer help and companionship to lonely sailors. The contrast between the siren's deadly allure and the mermaid's benevolent nature highlights the different roles that these creatures play in mythology. Despite these differences, people often confuse sirens and mermaids because they're both depicted as beautiful women with some non-human features and are associated with the ocean. But the key difference lies within their origin in mythology and their physical habitat. In addition to their physical appearances, the ways in which sirens and mermaids are portrayed in art and literature also vary. Sirens are often depicted in a more sinister and dangerous light, with dark and ominous settings. Even though they have been portrayed with the physical appearance of a mermaid, their characteristics, such as their personality, are clearly siren-like. In contrast, mermaids are usually shown in bright and beautiful underwater scenes, with their songs and presence bringing a sense of wonder and magic to the stories. Mermaids have also been popular in modern storytelling, with famous examples like Disney's The Little Mermaid bringing their enchanting and benevolent image to new generations. The enduring popularity of sirens and mermaids shows how these mythical creatures continue to captivate our imaginations and inspire new stories. So, while both sirens and mermaids have fascinated us for centuries, they are quite different in many ways. Sirens, with their bird-like appearance and deadly nature, represent danger and evil. They use their beauty and voice to lure men to their deaths and are feared by sailors. Mermaids, on the other hand, are fish-like sea creatures and are not necessarily linked to these activities. Many people, though, continue to report sightings of mermaids to this day. I have received many comments in my previous video with stories from people who allegedly saw them. So if you have a story of your own, do let me know in the comments below. Also, if you already knew about these differences and you think that I missed one, please also drop a comment below. Thank you so much for joining me for today's tale. If you watched this video until the end, I will assume that you like what you saw. So please like, subscribe, comment, share the video with someone else. It is a very small button for you and a gigantic leap for my channel. Until the next tale, farewell, and may the gods smile upon you.